it's Stephanie with the Whimsy Lark Vintage Treasures, and I'm in New Bern, North Carolina, and I'm here at Poor Charlie's Antiques, and it's a flea market as well, and it's this really cute barn that you'll see here behind me. Here in a minute, I'm gonna back up here. It's really windy here. We're right along a river, and if you can see it, whew, there we go. It's this cute little building here, and we're in this town of New Bern, and the river is back over there. You're not going to see it from here, I don't think, but it's just this cute little antique shop. It was a millwork, I believe. It had a few different lives before it became an antique mall, but if you're in New Bern, come check it out. This is a 1940s typewriter. Could you imagine typing an email on something like this now? I think we have it pretty great, don't you? And I did mention that this was the barn earlier, but this is actually an old mill, and I'm going to show you the ceiling and the roof here. It is just open and it's fantastic. I love the detail of it, and it is a metal roof, and it's a little windy out, so you could really hear the wind. So that does make it a bit loud, and with the music, I'm going to do a voiceover for the entire video, so just bear with me. And this here is a cigarette holder. It's made in Japan, and it is the typical lustreware that we see. And I feel like this could be used in a bathroom for cotton balls or Q-tips, or even in another room for candy or any other little goodies you just want to tuck away. And these are stretched glass candlesticks, and they have a fantastic iridescence to them. They were quite beautiful. And this blue vase here that you're going to see is Indiana glass. And this place is very knowledgeable. Some of these booths have their tags written fully out with all kinds of information that you would need, and I've not seen anything like that. So if you're looking for something specific, you're going to know what you actually have here. And I just think that's great. And ooh, look at this vase. I just love this. This may be one that's going home with me. It is orange glass, and it goes up to clear. It is a swung vase, and this is certainly a contender for my collection. We'll have to see. And I'm going to turn here and look at some figurines. I don't have it fully in view so you can see everything, but there's an owl. I thought it was just darling, and the cat was pretty cute as well. So we're just going through and taking a look at everything there is. There's so much to look at here. And I'm going to pick up this silver overlay candlestick. It was very pretty. And there is a yellow lustreware. I call those tumble ups. It is a bedside water container with a cup. And I'm having a tough time, you can't quite tell, but I'm having a tough time figuring what it costs. But I did finally see, and it was $32, which I felt was very fair for that. And this booth is half price, so we're going to take a good look in here. This bottle was very pretty. It looks to be a perfume bottle, and it is made in West Virginia. But that was all I could tell. It did look like it was some kind of blown glass. You can see the pretty swirl in it. Ooh, look at those birds. They're made in Japan as well. They're very colorful and adorable, and I felt you could use it as a small planter, for succulents, or even for bud vase. And next we're going to move on, and there are 2 lamps here. They are very ornate. They were just beautiful. Could you imagine the time frame that they were from and living at that time? You wonder how fancy your house would have been. And now I'm just looking at some artwork and some frames and just seeing what else that's here. And this clock was beautiful. They just don't make things like this anymore, but it was very detailed. And I apologize, I don't remember what they were asking for it or what it was at the time. But you can see there's just so much to look at. And I do also apologize if you hear extra noises in the background. I am traveling in the RV across country. We're gone for about 6 months. And you may hear some traffic from the highway, the truck noises going by. And like I said, we're in New Bern, North Carolina, and I found out today that this is actually the birthplace of Pepsi Cola, and it started in a pharmacy, and it went off from there. So it was nice to learn that. And I do find going to different places, I can learn a lot of information on things. It's great to go shopping and see what is around and find things that I might not have ever seen before in person. And I find it as a great education. So if I do find things at a thrift store or at an auction or a yard sale, I'll have some more knowledge and know what it possibly is and what it might be worth. And here we have a whole group of deer. If you're interested in deers, these are great brass deers. There's just quite a few of them here. And these candlesticks here I thought were very intriguing. I'd never heard of gas candles, and it was marked that it uses lighter fluid. And I just thought that was so different, and I would have picked them up. However, one of them did not have their wick or the red flame on top. So I did have to leave those behind. And this set here of Poinsettia Dishes I thought were very interesting too. And I don't remember what they were marked. I apologize for that. But there was a couple of bowls and a platter, a creamer and sugar, and a tidbit tray. And they did want $60 for the whole set. And that would make for some great entertaining pieces. And hopefully this Christmas we'll be able to get back together with family and friends. And we'll see how that goes and hope for the best. And I was really impressed with this booth here and the amount of glass and different kinds of glass that they had. And that fish dish I just thought was really pretty. And there's a clown, and I'm just gonna leave that where it is. I don't like clowns at all, so we're just gonna ignore it now. And this little picture here was very pretty. It was green and it had some white glass in it, and it just really was interesting as well. And this piece caught my eye. It was greenish yellow and purple, and it was great art glass. It wasn't marked, so I don't know who it was. And this top hat here was blown glass as well. I'm not sure that I get it in the frame very well for you to see, but it was mainly blue and like a brownish color with white, and then it did have some yellow and pink streaks through it, and I was really interested in it, but I did end up leaving it behind. And I spot this fairy lamp in the background, and they only wanted $5 for it, and I was so excited to find this. And you can see I'm going to check it out pretty closely to see if it has any chips on it, and the best way to do that is to touch it and not look at it while you're doing it. You're going to feel if it's got an issue or not. And unfortunately, it did have a small chip, so I did have to put it back. But that would have been a great find. There's some carnival glass and the cobalt glass. It's all very pretty. And with the RV, it's very hard to take all the breakables with me, but sometimes you gotta give in. But not those today. And this bear was hand carved. It was really neat. And then we have some fish in these paperweights. Those were nice, and they were priced accordingly to a collector. And I wonder if Sleeping Beauty is nearby. I hope that she's safe and not coming in right now. And this picture, and I guess that was a vase. I'm not sure, but it was very neat looking. It looked like Majolica to me, but the bottom did say Indian Tree Hand Painted J Wood, England. And I did not get a chance to look it up because of the cost of it at the moment. It wasn't something that I felt that I could resell, so I did not get a chance to look it up, but I thought it was very lovely. And I see these seals. This is an ashtray. That was just great. And there's all kinds of different uses that you could use for those. You could put it by the front door for change and keys. And this little one here with either bears or mice. I wasn't quite sure which animal that was. Hens on nests. I have quite a death pile of those, so I need to just ignore that they're there. If you get certain colors, they can be a great profit, but the white ones, I just need to ignore. And the glass just keeps on going. It was a really great collection of different things that they had. And this mirror here, this stand, this was very striking. It was just very ornate, and it was beautiful, and I absolutely loved it. But again, traveling in the RV, it wasn't going to travel well, so I had to leave it behind. This booth had a sale, and I was so excited, and then I read it was just framed mirrors and framed art. So that put a little damper on my mood at the moment, but we still shopped and looked and was delighted with all the different depression glass they had. And these are Mary Gregory bells. And Mary Gregory was an artist, and she painted different items like this, and I have sold Mary Gregory in the past. I don't know about the bells, how well they would do. And you will still find Mary Gregory items although she may not have painted them because her style became so popular, it became more of an art style. So you'll find Mary Gregory style items, and they still can do very well. I just don't know about bells. And this here, I believe, is Sooner glass, and that's Sooner. I typically find those with swans. And this pile of patches made me giddy. I absolutely love patches, and sometimes you can find vintage and even new patches that can do very well. I do love looking and searching for them, and I have sold some for great profit in the past, and I'm definitely going to look through these. Here's what I purchased at Poor Charlie's. I did buy 2 ET patches. They are vintage from the early 80s, and when you touch them, you can tell the difference if they're a new or a vintage patch. It's really hard to explain unless you have them in your hand. And the middle one is a Lake Placid from 1980. It is part of the Olympics, and like I said, I just like purchasing them and selling them, and sometimes you find real winners with those. And the final one is a Washington Redskins patch, and as we know, they are changing their name, and fans do like to collect items when their favorite sports team either has a big change, like a color change or an emblem change, or in this case, a name change. So that's why I picked that one up. I don't feel that any of these are going to be huge money makers. I did pay $3 each for them, and I will most likely put them in my booth, and the Redskins will probably sell between $10 and $15, and the other ones I'll sell for about $6 each. Thank you, and see you next time.